簡単で便利な英語学びたいですよね。On the 〇〇 side はまさにその通りです。結論から言うと、どちらかというと、ちょっと〇〇かなという意味で使います。例えば、どちらかというと、ちょっと高いかな、ちょっと高めかな。It's a bit on the expensive side というふうに使います。片方に傾いてるという感覚で考えると一番わかりやすいだと思います。例えばね、馬車があって、いっぱい荷物が積んであって、ちょっと左の方に傾いてる。テレビ番組とかそういう動画よく見ますよね。100% じゃないけど、やっぱり傾いてるは傾いてるということですね。サイドがありますね。このサイドとこのサイド。やっぱり、it's a little bit on the expensive side. そういうイメージですね。So I'm going to go over the different ways you can use this simple but useful expression to take your conversation skills up a notch. So how do we put these kinds of sentences together? It's super simple. Just add an adjective, 形容詞, or an adjective phrase, 形容詞句. Examples of adjectives would be fragile, timid, tedious, monotonous. Examples of adjective phrases: full of energy, overly complicated, bad for your health, nice to look at. So we just add them to the structure. These wine glasses are a bit on the fragile side. These wine glasses are a bit on the easily broken side. Which pattern is more common? I'd say the basic adjective pattern. These glasses are on the fragile side. But if you want to speak more descriptively and add a dash of color to your English, then using adjective phrases is great if you can pull it off. These glasses are on the easily broken side. Let's take a look at 5 example sentences using adjectives that I've put together. But let's make it into a quiz. So each sentence has one little mistake. See if you can find them. Food at convenience stores is kind of on the expensive side, but people shop there because quick and easy. Have a think. Okay, did you find the mistake? Food at convenience stores is kind of on the expensive side, but people shop there because it's quick and easy. It's. You have to put in the it's there. A bit on the expensive side, yeah? Number 2, the weather forecast said it's going to be on the chilly side tonight, so remember, take a jacket with you. Did you find it? This one's a spelling mistake. The weather forecast, F-O-R-E, the weather forecast said it's going to be on the chilly side tonight. So remember and take a jacket with you. That was a tricky little spelling one. Here's number 3. The guy I work together is on the quiet side when he's at work, but when he goes to karaoke, we can't get the mic off him. Did you find it? Okay, the answer is this. Together was the mistake. The guy I work with is on the quiet side when he's at work, but when he goes to karaoke, we can't get the mic off him. So this is actually, a lot of people make this mistake using together. Maybe you watched my video about using together I made maybe 3 or 4 months ago. But yeah, so the guy I work with is on the quiet side. He's not like super quiet, but he's on the quiet side. Number 4, I went out for dinner last night. The steak was kind of on the hard side, but the rich sauce made up for it. What do you think? Can you see something unnatural about that sentence? So the thing which I feel is unnatural about this sentence is using the word hard. So my version of this is, I went out for dinner last night. The steak was kind of on the tough side, but the rich sauce made up for it. So it's okay to talk about like meat and fish, that kind of thing, using the words hard and soft, but it's okay. But my recommendation for you is to use the words tough and tender. So the steak is really, really tough, or the steak is really tender. Love me tender, love me true. Dee, 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 dee. Oh, okay, I might get copyright strike for that one. Okay, here's the fifth one. If you stay at that hotel, just remember that it's a bit of the old side and the rooms need reforming. This could be a tricky one for you. Have a think. So did you find anything funny about this sentence? So the problem here lies within the word reform. So the correct way of saying this would be, if you stay at that hotel, just remember that it's a bit on the old side and the rooms need redecorating. So the word reform is usually used in a much more serious context. So for example, 改革, changing and improving systems, laws, or institutions. It can also be used like for prisoners, people who do bad stuff, 構成, improving someone's behavior or character, usually through prison. So here are some example sentences for them. The government announced plans to reform the healthcare system within the next 5 years. So reform the healthcare system. It's a really serious, really big thing. You're going to reform, takes a lot of money, a lot of planning, a lot of time, that kind of situation. Or the prison's goal is to help inmates reform rather than simply punish them. So you want to try and make the person become a better person and not to offend again. So by looking at the hotel room, it's just a little bit old or dirty, things need replacing, then we would just use redecorating. If you stay at that hotel, just remember that it's a bit on the old side and the rooms need redecorating. Okay? A bit on the old side. It's not really old, but it's a bit on the old side. Phew! It's a bit on the hot side today, but I suppose I'm kind of getting used to it. The most difficult thing about living on this silly island is not being able to find any food. I tried to do some fishing, but it's a bit on the tricky side. I just can't catch enough. I usually end up just having some fruit from the trees here and there, and you know what? I don't know why I'm not losing any weight. I'm still a bit on the chubby side.
Hula, hula, hula,
Oh no,
hula,
here they come again. Using adjective phrases is more difficult to do in this language structure, but if you can master it, it adds a nice bit of spice to your English. So see if you can spot the 5 mistakes in these example sentences. First one, her reaction was a bit on the overly dramatic side, but we're all used to the way she is acting. Did you find the mistake? So in this case, the problem is with the way she is acting, because we're actually talking about her regular behavior. So ing is not usually used for a regular behavior. It's used for like a one time or one particular period of time, or possibly for future. But in this case, her reaction was a bit on the overly dramatic side, but we're all used to the way she acts. Used to the way she acts. because it's something that she does on a regular basis. It's normal for her. So this is an interesting adjective phrase. She's a bit on the overly dramatic side. A bit on the overly dramatic side. So if you could use something like that, that would be really cool. Let's look at number 2. The movie was kind of on the longer than necessary side, and I felt they could have wrapped the story earlier. See anything funny about that? So the problem with this sentence is using the verb wrap. So it's usually used in more of like an idiomatic way. Wrap up, wrap up. So the movie was kind of on the longer than necessary side, and I felt they could have wrapped up the story earlier. So if you wrap something up, it means you make it finish, you make it end. You can wrap up a meeting, you can wrap up a presentation, and you can wrap up a story. So yeah, and in this case, we're using the adjective phrase kind of on the longer than necessary side. Kind of on the longer than necessary side. It's quite complicated to speak like that, but again, if you can use this kind of phrasing, then it's going to be really good for your English skills. Okay, the third one. This curry is sort of on the hard to eat side with all the bones left in, but I suppose they plus more flavor. Okay, so the problem here is plus more flavor. So another way to say plus is add. So plus is not usually used that often as a verb, but add is used in this case. So this curry is sort of on the hard to eat side with all the bones left in, but I suppose they add more flavor. They add. It's funny, the verb add is often used in cooking, like in recipes or talking about the flavor of something. It adds a certain sweetness, or it adds a certain spiciness, or add some sugar, or add some soy sauce. Add is one of those verbs that I never hear a lot of people using when they're talking about food, but it's a great verb to use when you're talking about cooking and flavors. There you go. Okay, number 4. His Y shirt is a bit on the too tight side and leaves absolutely nothing to the imagination. So can you see where this is going wrong here? For me, it was just really funny to actually type this in. So instead of saying Y shirt, we should be saying his dress shirt is a bit on the too tight side and leaves absolutely nothing to the imagination. So Y shirt, of course, comes from white shirt. But it's more, people never ever say that in English. You should always say dress shirt, or sometimes formal shirt. Actually, I was looking on the Uniqlo's website to buy a new shirt, and they say dress shirt in katakana. So instead of saying waishatsu, let's say dress shirt in English, because Uniqlo seem to be already using it. Maybe it's the new trend. Okay, number 5. The book you borrowed me was kind of on the difficult to understand side, so I ended up giving up halfway through. So, what's the problem with this sentence? Borrowed. Borrowed in this case. It should be lent. So, the book you lent me was kind of on the difficult to understand side, so I ended up giving up halfway through. A lot of people make mistakes with lend and borrow. So when you lend something, I lend to you. When you borrow something, I borrow something from you. So lend, here you are. Borrow, thank you. Lend, borrow. Lend, borrow. Lend, borrow. Lend, borrow. That kind of thing. We use cranes a lot when we're putting up these big buildings. We just got a new one in last week. To be honest with you, it's a bit on the difficult to control side, but we're gradually getting the hang of it. We haven't had any accidents so far. In a job like this, safety is the most important thing. We have to be on the overly cautious side in everything that we do because people's lives and livelihoods are at stake.
Look out! Run!
It's homework time. So today I'm going to give you a Japanese sentence and I want you to change it into a natural English sentence, of course, using the language that we were learning about today on the something something side. Okay? And the sentence is this. スタバのフラペチーノ、どちらかというと甘めだよね。Okay, so try and translate that. I'm thinking of cafe lattes, I think. Translate that into some nice English and put your answer down in the comments and I look forward to hearing from you, okay? I'll check your answers as soon as I have some time. Good luck.